Have you ever been scammed or afraid of being scammed? In this fast-paced digital age, scams are becoming increasingly prevalent and sophisticated. We're going to talk about a subject that's of utmost importance, yet often overlooked: being aware and vigilant against scams. The reality is, scams are no longer limited to shady back-alley deals. They've found their way into our emails, social media, and even phone calls. The anonymity of the internet provides a fertile ground for fraudsters to thrive. But don't worry, there are telltale signs, 12 to be exact, that you're about to be scammed. These indicators range from high-pressure sales tactics to requests for upfront payments, and even to something as subtle as the language used by the potential scammer. We've compiled these indicators based on real-life examples and expert advice. In the next few minutes, we'll be diving into each of these indicators in detail. Knowledge is power, and being aware of these signs can save you from falling victim to scams. The first indicator that you might be facing a scam is the promise of unrealistic returns. Scammers often lure unsuspecting individuals with the prospect of high profits in a short span of time. They might tell you that your investment will double or triple in just a few weeks, which is nearly impossible in the legitimate financial world. The second sign is pressure to act quickly. Scammers know that if you have time to think and research, you're less likely to fall for their tricks. They'll use phrases like limited time offer or only a few spots left to make you feel like you're missing out if you don't act immediately. The third indicator is the requirement of upfront payment. Be wary of anyone who requires you to pay money upfront for investment opportunities, especially if they are asking for personal information along with it. This could be a clear sign of a scam. Scammers might use various excuses for this upfront payment, such as it's for processing fees or membership fees. But remember, legitimate investments rarely, if ever, require you to pay upfront. These are just the first three signs. Let's move on to the next set. Moving on, the fourth indicator to look out for is a sense of urgency. Scammers often create a tense atmosphere to make you act without thinking. They might tell you there's a limited time offer that's just too good to miss, or a crisis that requires immediate financial aid. Remember, genuine opportunities or emergencies don't pressure you into making hasty decisions. Next up, the fifth flag is when they refuse to meet in person or communicate only through emails and texts. Scammers often avoid face-to-face interactions to hide their identity. They may also use this tactic to evade any legal implications. If a business or individual is unwilling to meet physically or over a video call, it's a good idea to approach with caution. The sixth indicator is vague and unclear explanations. Scammers typically provide ambiguous explanations about where your money is going, how the investment works, or how the supposed opportunity will generate returns. They rely on your lack of knowledge in a particular field to confuse you. If you're feeling lost or can't get straight answers, it's a good idea to step back and reconsider. We're halfway through the list. Keep these signs in mind as we proceed to the next ones. Our seventh indicator is an immediate request for money. Scammers are often in a hurry. They'll pressure you to act fast, insisting that you must make a payment or investment right away. This urgency leaves little room for you to think critically or seek advice, which is exactly what they want. Next, we have the eighth indicator: vague or non-existent contact information. Legitimate businesses are transparent about their contact details. They provide an address, phone number, and email that are easily accessible and verifiable. If you're dealing with an entity that's elusive about their contact information or doesn't have any at all, it's a red flag. The ninth indicator is a lack of personalization. Scammers often use generic greetings in their communications like "Dear valued customer" or "Dear user." They do this because they're usually sending the same message to thousands of people, hoping that a few will bite. If you receive a message that doesn't address you by name, be wary. These indicators are not foolproof, of course. There are legitimate scenarios where you might encounter these signs, but more often than not, they are telltale signs of scams. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Let's look at the final set of indicators. As we near the end of our list, the 10th indicator is the high-pressure sales tactics. Scammers are known to create a sense of urgency, rushing you to make a decision without giving you time to think or investigate. They may say things like, "This offer won't last," or "If you don't act now, you'll miss out." Remember, a legitimate deal won't require you to make a hasty decision. Moving on to the 11th indicator, which is vague and ambiguous contract terms. A scammer may use complex language or leave out vital details to confuse you. If you find it hard to understand the terms, or if the contract doesn't clearly state your rights and obligations, it's a red flag. Always take the time to read and understand a contract before signing it. Finally, The 12th indicator is the request for upfront payment or personal information. Scammers often ask for an advance fee with the promise of a larger payoff later, or they may ask for sensitive information like your social security number or bank details. Be cautious when asked for such information upfront, especially if it's for a service or product you haven't received yet. So there you have it, the final 3 indicators that you might be dealing with a scam. These signs aren't definitive proof of a scam, but they should definitely raise your suspicions. Now that we've covered all 12 indicators, let's take a moment to summarize. We've covered a lot today, so let's quickly go over the main points. We began by exploring the first 3 indicators: unsolicited contact, high-pressure sales tactics, and overly generous offers. Then, we moved on to the next set, which included vague or unclear information, requests for immediate payment, and being asked to keep transactions a secret. Following this, we delved into the 7th to 9th indicators: unprofessional behavior, inconsistencies in communication, and the absence of a physical address or contact information. Finally, we rounded up with the last 3 pointers: no proof of credentials, too good to be true investments, and the lack of a clear business model. Each of these signals should raise a red flag and urge you to step back, think, and investigate before parting with your money. Remember, it's not paranoia, it's being smart, cautious, and responsible. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and most importantly, keep your hard-earned money safe. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Cycle Talks.